what Rock tweeted out, Rockabatko, Felix Bautista had successful surgery yesterday in Los Angeles to repair a torn rotator cuff and a torn labrum, and followed it up with he's expected to miss at least the next 12 months. And I think the key word here is at least. And you're right, Brad. When it comes to shoulder injuries, and also for anyone that when teams give you this cryptic answer to start, but they say it's bad and they won't tell you what it is, but they just say it's bad.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
And so when I saw that initially from Tony Manzolino, I'm sitting here going, well, I just hope that he can be back at some point next year. That's where my mind went initially. And now you look at what it actually is. So rotator cuff and labrum. I know people get scared about Tommy John. Dude, the labrum scares me more than Tommy John.
Yeah.
The rotator cuff scares me more than Tommy John because of the success rate that we've seen with Tommy John surgeries. The ligament will heal. You can move back. The shoulder is a lot more complicated. Because then that can alter how you throw in the future. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to get that velo back. And a guy like Felix Bautista, that is mountainous, literally as his nickname and by stature, and that can throw 100 and has that splitter, it could all impact how it goes. And I'm not going to jump to conclusions about what could or couldn't happen, but to say that this is a devastating injury, not for the sake of season, like take out next year.
Yeah.
Not that he won't be a part of the team, and that sucks. But devastating or really nerve-wracking to me is, could this change the trajectory of what his career can be? That's what terrifies me.
Yes.
That is what's terrifying me with Felix here. And just 2 months ago or 2 years ago, we thought about Felix as the top guy. And here he is. He's ascended. And in 2 years' time, now you're wondering, is Felix Bautista ever going to get back to who he was?
Well, so Brooks brings up a great point. Hi, Brooks. Appreciate you. That he's 30 years old. You know, by the time he's fully recovered and back to throwing, might be 32. And how much of the old Felix are we going to see? And that's why I prefaced it by saying, like, look, it's I feel for Felix Bautista. It sucks. It's I really don't know what the future is going to hold for him.
Yeah, and it's too early. We're not going to go down the what if. Now I am going to text Yoni right now.
You don't have to, but I I like to play the what if.
But the reality is, this is now not a what if. The Orioles need a closer next year.
Yes,
that has now become a priority in the offseason. When we talk about you got to figure out your priorities, well, the Orioles now are going to go, we need a guy at the back end, and we've seen closer by committee is not what you want to do. Yeah. They could go that option, but if I'm them, that ain't it. Right. That ain't it. And I know, Zach, there's some options out there. Aroldis Chapman went to the Red Sox, and
Ryan Helsley.
Ryan Helsley is another guy that is going to be in the equation here.
I think Wellesley could be that guy. I think that's probably where they start.
I would agree.
See how he does as a closer. I personally can't wait to see Tyler Wells back in Baltimore. Miss that guy, but I think that's probably where they start and they see where they land. That's why I was saying, like, I'm devastated for Felix, but I think the O's are still fine. Just throwing it out there, they might still be fine even with Felix, even with the devastating injury.
Right now, I'm going through the just the offseason, upcoming, the unrestricted free agents that are available. It is pretty funny because when I look at guys and I'm like, okay, they could close and they have closer ability. Aroldis Chapman, obviously, Ryan Helsley. I would love to go get a Luke Weaver type. I think that would fit perfectly. But then, funny enough, after that, probably the two guys that I'm looking at and I'm like, yeah, they could serve in they've been there, had that, been in those positions is Sir Anthony Dominguez and Gregory Soto. So now suddenly, is there like
no,
there?
Absolutely not. No.
I would love Sir Anthony back.
That's going to be more on the table for sure. And Tyler Wells, though, to be a closer, you got to have that bulldog FU mentality. And Wells actually embodies that.
Yes.
He doesn't throw very hard. Love you, Tyler, but you're not out there throwing heat. You know, if you hit 94, it's a great day. And I'll pat you on the back and say, good job, kid. But he knows how to mix.
Sending that right to Tyler.
He knows how to mix his pitches. He's got a really good changeup, but above all, he doesn't get rattled in big moments. Like he truly is, screw it. I welcome that.
Yeah.
You need that in the closer role. And we've discussed this for the longest time. You can look around baseball. The closer role gets all the glory. It gets the most hate. But there's a reason why there's only a certain amount of people that can handle being in that role day in and day out, because it is really damn hard to close out a ball game. The stakes are the highest. You have to be ready for the unpredictable moments. And then you also have to have the presence on the mound that can intimidate a lineup. It's like when you go out there, the other team knows that they are in trouble.
Yeah.
That's what Felix provided. When the Phillies traded for Duran, that's what he provides. Helsley obviously has had some speed bumps. Devin Williams, though, over with the Yankees has had speed bumps. I believe in Devin Williams down the road, but when Devin Williams in Milwaukee was coming in the game, people feared when he came in the game. Why? Because they would usually get closed out, and it was a win for the Brew Crew. So that's what you want from your closer. But
he
for
is
the
also
Orioles,
available.
so there's just so many thoughts. Now, you guys have seen from the bullpen, the rest of the pieces you can put together. Look at Rico. Zach got a Rico jersey after last night's 8th.
Yeah. It's in the mail. It's in the mail.
So, in general, the bullpen can be fixed, but finding a closer is not going to be as simple as it possibly is. But I'll tell you what, the Orioles are still playing with a lot of confidence because Felix was already out and this team's continuing to build up. So, a lot of positives.